Well, from the recent elections to must-see TV, outsourcing to India has become a very hot topic. Julie Watts is joining us today for the first part of her two-part series, Outsourced Silicon Valley Students in India. What a trip you took, Julie.
You know, it was an amazing experience. It was a few months ago that I traveled to India on an immersion trip with a group of local high school students. We toured call centers, spent time with street children, and we came home with a new understanding of just how connected the Bay Area is to this country half a world away.
India is a country of stark contrast, of opulence and poverty, technology and simplicity. And for these 25 students from Archbishop Benny High School in San Jose, India is an interactive textbook. For some, they chose to study India in hopes of seeing their culture through new eyes.
I wanted to embrace the opportunity to see like what I would consider to be my motherland from a point of view that's not directly from my parents.
For others, it was an opportunity to learn about the Silicon Valley of the future.
I think America overall is just becoming more globalized, especially with the outsourcing business. It's like we're so tied to India in so many economic ways that it makes sense that the cultures are going to start fusing.
Our vision of what a 21st century classroom looks like is an experiential, contextual classroom. Taking students to where they actually see and experience and they fall in love and they have their hearts broken with real-world events that are going on. As Michelle was talking.
Tim Westmiller teaches a course titled Culture, Justice, Ethics, India. These students spent the year in a San Jose classroom studying everything from globalization to religion as it relates to the country. And now they've landed halfway across the world to experience it firsthand. But why India?
Why not India? If you're going to understand the world of the 21st century, 1 out of 6 people in the world come from India.
Not to mention many of our Silicon Valley jobs are going to India. And so are Silicon Valley companies like Cisco.
We're gonna enjoy some more in the telepresence room.
These tech-savvy students had the opportunity to tour what is now referred to as Cisco East. And they were in good company, as then San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom had just been on the very same tour.
This was the Sister Cities Bangalore San Francisco initiative,
connecting our Silicon Valley to theirs.
If you're going to be a globalized company, you have no choice but to be here in India. In fact, the real question is, why are those companies that are still in the Bay Area not somewhere out here in India?
Well, according to Cisco's research, eventually they will be. On the tour, these students learned that 80% of the world's gross domestic product is expected to be produced in markets like Bangalore by the time these teenagers are in their 50s, meaning many of their careers will be connected to this growing economy. But they also learned, in India, nothing is black and white.
I have never seen so much of a wealth gap as there is here in India, and people keep saying, oh, India is a growing nation, India is a growing country, it's becoming a world power, and it is, but it's leaving so many of its people behind, which is partially just because it's a huge country.
India is about 1/3 the size of the U.S. with 3 times as many people, and there's a lot of similarities. They've got a growing tech industry, and they even have their neighborhood coffee shops. But here in India, about 50% of the population lives below the poverty line. To put that in perspective, that'd be like, well, almost the entire population of the U.S. sleeping on the streets at night.
It's often been said that for every time you tell the truth about India, you're simultaneously telling a lie.
India is a wealthy country with over 125,000 millionaires, yet 70% of the population lives on less than $2 a day. And in the midst of a tech boom with high-paying jobs, India has the highest number of child laborers in the entire world.
Like the Taj Mahal at the front, it looks really nice, but like if you go behind the scenes, like if you go to like the slums surrounding it, then you see all this poverty, all this dirt, all these child laborers. That's like the main reason I came on this trip, to be able to see behind the scenes.
It was an eye-opening journey, and as you might imagine, it was the poverty and the child laborers that had the greatest impact on the students. We'll take a closer look at that next week in part 2 of our series, but first, after the break, the students join us live on set.